A black man walked into a prestigious company hoping to learn more about their work, but the hiring manager barely glanced at him before dismissing him. We're looking for someone more refined, the manager said condescendingly. Just minutes later, the entire room fell silent, and the one who would look down on him, he was about to regret it deeply. Before we continue, drop a comment below. What time is it in your local area right now? That day, David, a well-dressed black man, sat patiently in the waiting area of a major corporation. As employees passed by, some glanced at him, others whispered. Moments later, an assistant stepped out. Mr. David, you may come in. David stood up and walked into the office where Richard, the hiring manager, sat behind a sleek desk. Richard barely looked at him before giving a curt nod. So you're here to apply for a job? David smiled slightly. I wanted to learn more about the company. Richard leaned back. Inside, I'll be honest with you, I don't think you're the right fit for our company. David raised an eyebrow. Not the right fit? What do you mean? Richard folded his arms. We're looking for someone with a more polished image, someone who truly represents our brand. Silence filled the room. David exhaled slowly, about to respond when the door suddenly opened. A man in an expensive suit strode in confidently. William, the company's CEO. Richard immediately jumped to his feet. Mr. William, the first wasn't expecting you. William didn't acknowledge him at first. Instead, he turned to David and gave a small nod before shifting his gaze back to Richard. What's going on here? Richard forced a smile. I was just explaining our company culture. We prioritize a professional image. William's expression darkened. And you think David doesn't fit that image? Richard hesitated. Well, first impressions are important. William took a deep breath, then said something that made the entire room freeze. Do you even know who you're speaking to? Richard blinked. Excuse me. William's gaze was sharp. David is not a job applicant. He's our company's primary investor, considering whether to invest in U.S. Richard's face went pale. Lisa, the HR assistant, gasped. David stood up and looked Richard straight in the eye. Judging someone by their appearance is a huge mistake. William's disappointment was evident. If you can't see beyond first impressions, you have no place in this company. Richard panicked. Sir, I didn't. No, I was just trying to be objective. William shook his head. And you failed. Turning to Lisa, he gave a final instruction. Prepare performances review on Richard and bring it to me by the end of the day. Lisa quickly nodded. David smiled. I hope this company learns to value people for their skills and character, not just their looks. With that, he walked out with William. Richard sat frozen, realizing his mistake had just cost in his career. A lesson: never judge someone by their appearance. The world is full of surprises, and the person you underestimate today might be the one deciding your future. Tomorrow's success isn't about race, clothing, or background. Is about hard work, experience, and character. Arrogance and prejudice can backfire, but a little kindness and respect, they can open doors you never imagine. Stay humble, stay open-minded, and always treat others with respect, because you never know who you're really talking to.